Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to another edition of DIY. Oh my gosh, of DIY Money. Whatever.
You almost recovered it well. DIY Money.
Yeah, then I was like, blah, 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 blah. It's the video. It's the video. Knowing that the video
pressure
is right there, it's a little different. It's a little, I'm not sure.
It adds a
Not
layer.
sure. It adds a layer, faux show.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Are you doing a bunch of like spring projects at your house and doing all kinds of things?
Brother, we're cutting this on April 22nd. I have 8 days until I exit Jewel Financial. I am doing nothing around the house. I am trying to finish that well.
Yep. How does that feel?
It's depends on the day.
Yeah, I feel like in the last 2 weeks it started to like hit you.
100%.
Yeah.
I did have like a little bit of a panic attack. I'm just be very vulnerable. It was one of these middle of the night, totally irrational. I woke up. First of all, I was having a little bit of a dream, financial, like, this sounds silly, but like, it was a chaotic time in the markets. I was talking to clients. I was, like living well. Like I'm thinking, this is what I do. I calm clients down, like, et cetera. And I woke up and I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing leaving at the prime of your career? Like you are in the prime and you're stepping out. And there was a brief moment of panic, but that's not right. That's not real. That's not normal. Like, and so, I got my thoughts together, said a little prayer. And what I'm always looking back on is there were months of contemplation, prayer, journaling, talking to wise people to make this decision.
Sure.
And so there is no regret. The response from clients has been just absolutely wonderful and humbling. The emails, the messages, it's been awesome. It's been really awesome. Now, I'm going to be just as or more involved in financial markets than I am now. Like that will never end. I mean, from the management of my own family's funds to cutting the podcast to teaching at the university, all things I want to lean into more. So I don't think that will end. And that's what I had to remind myself in the middle of the night. Like I thought to myself, you're leaving financial markets. What? No, you're not. Are you kidding me? So I'll be involved in financial markets till the day I die.
Well, and we don't talk about this a lot on this podcast, but we talk about it every day in our office. It feels like that transition. I know you're not retiring. You're basically doing 5 jobs after you get this one job done. But as you transition, like anytime we've talked to clients about that change over, it's a big deal. And it's only natural, I think, to feel that over these couple of weeks. And then I would imagine like 2 weeks after, you're going to feel it probably even more after it's done.
You're right. I, as you know, people on the audience, I'm taking a group of students abroad again this year for several weeks. We'll be studying in Italy. I don't think I'll have any issue there. Like I'll just be in Italy. It'll be really nice.
Fine. Yeah.
It'll be when I come back and start these other initiatives that I'm working towards. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know. It's so fascinating. It's really fascinating.
Well, I think that'll be good to update people over time as well.
I will for sure. We'll keep that on the docket, if you will. All right, housekeeping odds and ends. Let's take a quick break for our sponsors. Okay, welcome back. Great sponsors, by the way. You think A. Howard's listening to those commercials yet?
Nope.
Not at all.
Not a chance.
Not a chance in France. All their housekeeping, we are cutting these for YouTube. I'm going to be wearing the same shirt on the first 4 or 5 episodes because we're cutting them all at once.
Fair
and
enough.
There you go. And podcast, DIY Money Podcast. Keep the questions coming. DIY Money, what is it? Podcast at DIYmoney.org.
Yes.
So many things to remember.
900 episodes of saying
goodness,
that. But
900 episodes. By the way, the 1,000th we dropped this is news. If you want to enter, we are going to give $1,000 away to the person who sends the 1,000th question that we use. So send us those audio file questions and put, for the 1,000th episode in there, and we will consider it.
The 3 of us have to be on that because I'm not fighting over who 2 are on that episode. Just so you know, we'll have all 3.
Okay, we will. It'll be a long one. The 1,000th episode, we'll just keep going. Maybe we'll do it live too. How about we do it live? That way people know, and we are revealing who the 1,000th is. It will be live. We got
add layers.
100 some odd episodes. By the way, this might be coming out before the one that we cut about the 1,000th episode.
Very possible.
So if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't know what he's talking about, we're cutting these in reverse order. So in a couple episodes, you might hear how organically this came about. But just know this, we are giving $1,000 away for the person who sends in the 1,000th question for DIY money. So get it in the queue. You might get $1,000. Bam. And it's $1,000. It's not it's on Amazon. It's $1,000.
Glad we're making all these decisions.
I am making these decisions on the spot. Boom. All right. We got a great question from Ron today. Ron, what do you got?
Hey, DIY Money. How we all doing? I have a question about marriage and how to integrate money post-wedding, and if that should be done with more than just bank accounts, and if there's any sort of tax benefits to keeping some of those separate or other advantages that I may not be thinking about. I love the show.
Ron, we love you. Thank you for that great question.
That is a great question.
I am going to give you my opinion on this. There is no data. This is not factual, and some people are going to disagree with me, and that's perfectly fine. In my opinion, everything should be combined.
Mm-hmm.
I know many listeners, the minority, because majority would agree, but the minority of you out there going, you're crazy, I'm never doing that, and that's fine. But when you are married and you are unified as one, you, in my opinion, should act as one team. It is not her debt and your debt, or her spending and your spending. It is one account. Maybe you have multiple, joint, whatever it is. You have one budget. You have one, cohesive team, and you're working together. Now, there is one CFO typically, and I don't know if that's you. Since you sent the question in and you love the show, I'm going to guess it's you. There's a supporting person, and that's not always the husband as the CFO. It's often the opposite. I would definitely encourage you, if you haven't already, to listen to the 3 episodes we did on marriage, where we interviewed Logan and his wife, Brandy and myself, and then John and Carol, 65 years of marriage, and see how those various couples, our situation included, are handling it. But I believe everything should be combined. Everything should be, as one, and you are one team. I'll let Logan touch a little bit on this. There's not necessarily any tax advantages, but I would say the one caveat is, let's say you or your wife have student loans and you're already making those payments. You have run the math, and it makes sense for you to file separately, your return separately. You want to file married filing separately, because you don't want the payments of the student loan to sort of be changed based on joint income. In that situation only, it might make sense to keep some investment accounts separate because of income for the return. And more than likely, it's probably worthwhile. Let's say you're the one who's paying back the student loan. You would want minimal income in your name, so maybe the investment accounts have to be in your wife's name, that sort of thing. So there could be some strategic initiatives there if you are already keeping the return separate. But that's the one exception, I would say. Everything else combined, and even in that case, combined checking account, combined billing, her debt's your debt, her debt's her debt, all those things. What say you?
Yeah, I agree. I think combining everything makes a lot of sense. I think it does help from a financial standpoint in the long term of a marriage. We have seen in our business times where the keeping it separate gets sticky. And now we're trying to transfer money into various different accounts, and we're trying to put it into a pool, and we're trying to figure out who's paying for what and those kind of things. I think combining it up front across the board makes a lot of sense. There's one thing that we do in our family that I think has helped our financials doing things together, and that is that we do build in a budget line to our budget for each of us that goes to a discretionary bucket for Hannah, my wife, and myself, that we can spend on whatever we want that is totally ancillary of anything else in the budget. Now, those, if you have a separate checking account or whatever you might do for that, I think that's okay. We keep it all still joint, but we just have it built into the budget line. And I think that has been really, really helpful for us as like, okay, you want to do this, or you want to do that, or you want to go golfing, or you want to buy a new golf club for me, or in Hannah's case, she wants to do something special with someone and it's not built into the budget already, she can do it. And she has that amount. Now, it's not a lot of money that we put in there. Like, it's like $75 each for a month. But having those separated buckets where we throw money into and we can't say anything about what the other person spends it on has been really super helpful for us. So that's the only thing we do that it's not really separate, but is kind of quote unquote separated.
The only, as I listened to you talk and I thought about what I was saying, we have a vast audience now. I mean, it's grown a lot. We have a lot of you out there, and we're so grateful for that. What about the person, second marriage, blended family? What about that? What are your thoughts on that?
I think you add a lot of complexity layers there. It's difficult. And I think that what we talk about on almost every episode, there's a lot of psychology behind that as well. There's a lot of thought and process behind, okay, what is it truly combined now at this stage? Or I have children from a previous marriage, and what we talk about often on other episodes is beneficiary designation. So I think that it's important too that you have these conversations with your spouse, the new spouse, to define what needs to be defined so everybody has an understanding. I had a meeting one time, Quint, where it was a similar situation like that, and we were discussing beneficiary designation. And I mentioned in the meeting, hey, this is how this beneficiary is designated. It goes to their kids. It doesn't go to the other spouse. And there was a blow up in that meeting, like full on argument in that meeting. So I think if you do have a blended family and there are interesting situations or unique situations, it's just very important to have the dialogue and have the conversation and be on the same page about how the money is being managed.
Yeah, because I would be okay with, I would, not that anybody needs to be okay with my opinion, but like, let's say there is a blended family, it's a second marriage, and there are some expenses associated that somebody wants to carve out separate or whatever it might be, like alimony's coming in for the children, and it's for the children, and it needs to be separate, and that would be fine. I would say that makes a lot of sense. That said, that doesn't, I think the slippery slope then is what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours, and you pay this and you pay that and you pay, and that is just, in my opinion, dangerous.
I agree.
And I don't like that. It's all about creating at times friction, whether you are actually creating it or it happens, and then working through that. I'm not trying to give you marriage advice, but 22 years, and it's not always perfect. It's at times very difficult, but where you improve is going through friction and then coming out the other side.
Yeah.
That's true in life. That's true with physical fitness. That's true with growth in your career. You don't wake up one day and go from point A to point B without friction, without pain, without challenges, without the ups and downs, without the bruises. So you can't avoid them.
Yep.
And it's part of the blessing of marriage, doing life with someone.
Having arguments about money, I think, is part of marriage too. Like healthy arguments.
Yes.
Like, I don't agree with that, and you shouldn't do that, or should do this, or whatever. And having those back and forths are really important.
And then fast forward that, again, this is coming back to, let's say, a new marriage, a young couple. Your kids will see this. More is caught than taught. Your kids and your children will observe how you handle that, and things we've talked about in the past on other episodes. That creates their money blueprint. Like what they're observing, what they're seeing, what they're watching, how you spend money, how you invest, how you discipline. They are picking that up. And so if not for you, for them, being sure you're designing an appropriate and successful money blueprint for your children. I haven't done a lot of things right, but I feel like we've done well with our children's money blueprint. And I'm very, very happy with how they think about money and how they approach savings, investing, and spending.
I love it. It's a great question.
All right. Yeah, thanks so much. We'll send you a $25 Amazon gift card. All he did was got on his phone, sent a question in, podcast@DIYmoney.org. That's podcast@DIYmoney.org. Remember, get those questions in for the 1,000th episode and potentially score $1,000. $1,000. All right. Remember, friends, secret to wealth is pretty simple. Live on less than you make. Invest the rest and do so for a very long time. Make it a great one.